Hello, Holmes.
Close the door, you're letting the skank out. Ooh.
Good day, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, I know I should have got here sooner to give you a report on my research, but this case has led me to neglect my patients and my wife more than I care to admit. I've been able to sort things out over the last few days, and now I am ready to pursue this investigation.
Don't care.
You don't have to justify yourself, Watson. Whilst I do tolerate you as an observer, and despite your occasional help with more menial tasks, may I remind you that you are by no means an indispensable part of this case.
Oh!
You tolerate me as an observer, do you?
Oh, you're having a domestic.
Too much, Holmes. Well, Mr. Detective, despite my absence, I have been working on this case, putting my relationship on the line in the process. And I happen to have a confidential letter that only passed from one lord's hand to another. What it contains is extremely serious and concerns Dr. Tumblety and his collection of uteri.
Let me see that.
Bitch, please. I'm Watson, motherfucker. My lord, as you mentioned, we must avoid having to explain the demand of medical research to the uncultured masses. Yes, this is definitely from a lord. A general rise of confidence would result in the links the press would surely be quick to make to the hideous murders committed in the East End. Regarding this matter, the rumour that you mentioned in your letter has proved well-founded. 18 months earlier, an American doctor in London did in fact contact certain hospitals to no avail to obtain stocks of female genitalia, uteri in particular. The identity of the doctor is unknown to me. He seems to have left London shortly after his attempt, yet he still got some, and then left them behind. Well done. I cannot help but think that he may have returned to London and has found someone who might furnish him with what he seeks. Oh, wonderful.
Excellent. This American could turn out to be of great use to use.
That's right, and that's not all. I did some research and finally found an illness that affects the genitalia and can, in certain cases, cause facial symptoms resembling the mutilations seen on the last victim. It is called, would you believe?
Syphilis.
Syphilis and the emaciation that can be seen in affected children. I have known that for days, Watson.
Oh!
Listen, now you're already here, Watson, we may as well continue the investigation. Do you remember the map on which we established the area in which our killer lives? I think we should continue our study.
The map. Where did I put it? Oh, it's here. There we are.
Well, I discovered the case of another murder before that of Bucks Row. It happened in George Yard.
What are you doing over
We should
there?
put it on the map in order to see if it corresponds to our area of research. We must place the murder of Martha Tabram in George Yard on the map. That is where Martha Tabram's murder took place. There's no point going there. I already have all the information we need on that matter.
Ooh.
You see, this murder took place in the area in which our killer lives, his safe zone. Nonetheless, there are two major differences between the murder of this Martha Tabram and that of Polly Nichols. Firstly, the blows inflicted are not the same.
And the second difference?
It follows on from a doctor's opinion. He claims two weapons might have been used, and if there is one group of people we absolutely must not trust in this business, it's doctors. Don't you agree, Watson?
The bitch slaps
Watch
keep
it,
coming.
Holmes.
Tabram's murder took place in an area where the murderer, whose cowardice is clear, was able to make a quick getaway, that is to say, near his home. For his second murder, he would have wanted to go further afield, so the police would not link these two cases. And as for the other murders, seeing the ineffectiveness of his last one, he headed in different directions to kill his victims while still staying in the vicinity and without going any further than necessary, and all the while planning his escape. My dear Watson, we now know what this man looks like, in what area he lives, and that he suffered directly or indirectly from syphilis. Let's not forget the anatomical knowledge he must almost certainly possess. Given his lower-class background, a butcher seems very likely. However, it may be the case that the man was a butcher once, but is no longer. He might also have been a medical assistant. Who knows? That's why we need the testimonies of the other Joseph and Dr. Tumblety in order to be certain.
What shall we do, Holmes?
As the police's cooperation is futile and can be ruled out, we have nothing to do but wait. Watson, wait, and hope we see one of these two men before the killer strikes again.
So once again, we're just sitting on our asses.
At last,
Almost a month.
long day's work done. How are you doing, Holmes?
Fine,
I'm
Watson,
poking the
just
file,
fine.
Watson.
I suppose you still haven't heard any news from Whitechapel.
No, Watson.
It's been almost a month now. Who knows? Our killer may have brought justice upon himself, overcome by remorse and ignominy for his actions.
Not a
I doubt
chance,
that.
Watson.
You haven't done anything about the story of a kidney that was sent in the post and reported by the papers. Why not?
The killer
I'm
left a
lazy.
message on one occasion with the intention of harming. The letter accompanying this package served no purpose other than to give value to its recipient and arouse disgust against its sender. The killer has never done anything for nothing. In order to authenticate the Galston Street message, he left an indisputable piece of evidence. Can we really say as much about this kidney?
Yes, but it was
I
tasty.
don't know. All I know is that there are letters piling up on your desk. Isn't it time to move on to another case?
Absolutely not, Watson. I think that the other
Yeah,
Joseph
Watson,
is
Jesus.
reluctant to meet me. The man he saw must certainly have put the fear of God in him. A man well known for his violence and his hatred towards Jews. There can't be any shortage of those in Whitechapel. I have hope yet. As for Dr. Tumblety,
We found him, Mr. Holmes. We found him.
Who's that?
Dr. Bumblebee. He's been locked up by the bobbies, but they've let him loose. Oi, he was
Me and
looking
my
around
terrible
like
accent.
a rat who's scared of his own shadow. He's gonna do a run at years.
Watson, this is our chance. The game is afoot. Let's hope that Tumblety will go to collect his trunk. As for you, my little friends, thank you for lifting this burden that has been on my shoulders for almost a month.
Yes. Holmes and Watson. Oh, he's disappeared. Holmes and Watson have been unable to do anything. Ugh. Jack the Ripper's case will be solved by street urchins. Oliver Twist solved this case. Boarding house, let's go. Let's run! 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 I got to catch you, and I got to kill you.
He is here. The doctor is here, up in his room. Peeking through my door, I saw him go up the stairs, and I think that he has a pistol.
Regarding the trunk, did you do what I told
No,
you
a
to?
pistol,
Yes,
the deadliest
I jammed
of
the lock
everything.
and filled the trunk with stones. Should we call the police?
Absolutely not. Go
Booyah.
home, lock your doors, and if you hear a gunshot, shout as loudly as you can.
I'll have shot myself.
Watson, we must disarm this man at all costs before attempting to confront him. Come, have your pistol at the ready and stay alert.
This is where it becomes an FPS. Yes, I would. No, I'm not. No, let me have a gun. Oh, bloody hell. Kiwi! Oh, God, don't show that.
Don't move a muscle or I shoot.
Who?
Booyah.
What is going on?
It's the
Bravo,
fuzz.
Watson. I take back everything I ever said about your less than full involvement in our investigations.
Listen,
What is this, a
Mr.
domestic?
Policeman. I already told everything to your colleagues at the station, so
Don't you believe
Yeah.
it, sir?
I'm
With
gonna
Officer
drop
Police, we are
everything that I
here to
say.
talk about human organs, an area in which you seem to have a great deal of interest.
what? But who are you?
We are the ones holding the pistol. Listen,
Ooh.
Tumblety, tell us everything you know and
Badass.
you'll be spared from the noose or a bullet.
What country
Have
you
tried
from?
to get hold of any female
What country
genitalia
are you
from
from?
someone during these
What?
past months?
What ain't no country I have ever heard of? Do they speak English in
So
what?
that's it. You English.
Yes.
Listen,
We
as it
English.
happens, I do have a collection of female genital organs, which I
And I
hold
never
dear,
thought I'd say
and
that.
never miss the chance to show my friends whatever the occasion.
Yeah,
If
despite
you
their
knew
pleas
what I
against
feel
them.
when my eyes meet the young men's as they contemplate with astonishment and disgust this soft and flabby skin that they worship and place at the center of
Okay,
all
he's
their
insane. Shoot him, Watson.
Women repulse me, gentlemen. They are one of nature's greatest mistakes. Lying, haughty, and most of all, nauseating.
Lovely.
No, sirs. Men,
Can I fire?
mankind, we are not made to soil ourselves with such animals. And it is my task to educate my peers, like the ancient Greeks used to do, and put them on the path to
This
masculine
is
relationships,
Whitechapel!
the only kind worthy of our intelligence.
My God, this man has lost his marbles, Holmes.
You haven't
not
answered my
that bad,
question.
Watson.
Did you attempt to obtain any
Homosexuality
female
isn't that
organs?
bad. It's not bad
Indeed.
at all.
But a long time ago.
But he is nuts.
I was living in Liverpool at the time. A few of my specimens were starting to lose their freshness.
Oh,
But despite the sum
charming.
proposed, the heads of the university hospitals refused to accede to my demands. The fear of what others would say, certainly. I know nothing more similar to an arrogant fowl than an English doctor. Yakety
Yes, and I know nothing more
always
similar
showing
to
up in the
an
courtroom
insane
with a haughty
twat
air.
than this guy.
And as soon as...
Shut it, Tumblety.
Shut it,
So,
you
was it
slag.
you who killed all of these women? Yes or no?
Stop waving
I
your gun
regret
around.
to say that it was not. If I had really wanted a few more uteri, I would have had them brought in from the United States, where it would cost me much less than here. Or I would have
America's
shown
just
two
got them
gold
floating
coins
about
in the
everywhere.
hallways of a morgue or a hospital in London, and they would have kissed my feet to sell them to me, and not taken the least risk. But kidneys are all the latest, aren't they? I think that I could find one tomorrow for less than £1.
I'll pistol whip him and shut him the fuck up.
In short, gentlemen, I do not know your killer, and I don't know why he's doing that. But if you come across him one day, please send him my friendship and my deepest respect.
Kick him in the
You've gone
crotch.
too far this time.
Come, Watson, let's not get carried away now.
I'ma blow
Thank
your
you for
brains
assistance,
across this
Doctor.
room,
If I may offer
biatch.
some advice, you should leave England as soon as possible. Each day that you remain in this country is a risk that an intelligent man would not take.
My pistol?
Surely likely
Without
to take
that,
it.
it will be even more risky.
Oh god, stop showing that fucking face.
Can we believe this man, Holmes?
He can't be the murderer, and his story regarding the organs fits. But we can't afford to take the slightest risk. I will ask the Baker Street irregulars to follow him. Listen, lads, when Tumblety leaves here, follow him discreetly, and come and tell me as early as possible tomorrow where he is currently residing. Understood?
Understood, Captain.
Yeah, oh for fuck's sake. This is getting ridiculous.
You are
God, I
already
thought that
ready,
door was opening on its
Holmes.
own.
What is going on?
I have been waiting for you for at least an hour, Watson. It would appear that a new drama has
Watson is
unfolded.
just a...
The youngsters
he's
came
just
to
a
give me this
whipping
address,
boy
but
here.
I have
He's the
some
butt monkey
doubts
of
as to
this.
the actual location we are going to. Let's try anyway. At worst, we may come across the Baker Street irregulars to put us in the right direction.
Land
We are
shark!
lost, Holmes.
No,
Oh, well
not,
done.
Watson. We are heading for the very street
You are
I'd hoped
lost.
for, but as I wasn't sure it was this one, I've made a few big detours in order to find the right one. I'll know it when I see the name.
Why, of course, Holmes. Why didn't I think of that? The great Sherlock Holmes can't...
Can't what? Let's have a chat with this guy. Hey, dude.
How are you, my friend? Are you not feeling well?
No,
My friend is a doctor. He can take care of you.
don't go there. He came here and he...
Now, Watson, take care of him.
She. Oh, God. Why do I have a slightly ominous feeling about this?